Friends. We are going to start off with our phonics today. Remember, phonics is when we're thinking about sounds and how sounds go together to make words. And sometimes we think about the beginning sound that we're hearing. Sometimes we think about the one in the middle. And sometimes we think about the one at the end of a word. So, what we're going to work on today is thinking about the sound that's in the middle of these words. So, we're going to look at some pictures here on this side. And we have a cat to start out with. When we say cat, what sound are you hearing in the middle? You're hearing that short A. I call that short A, and that's the one we've been working on for a long time. The way that A sounds when we go ah, because you've heard me say that it can make other sounds too, like long A when it says a, or I say it says its own name. That is what I mean by long A. So cat has a short a in the middle, and underneath that we have a pan. And if we go slow, we hear pa, a, So that one has a short a sound in the middle also. And fan. You try it. Say it slow. Go. Did you hear it? Ah. It has a short A sound in the middle too. Try that one yourself. Ka. Ah. Another short ah. That short A sound is in the middle. And for the last one down there, we have a ah, van. Another short A. So all those words in the middle have a short A sound. So I'm going to put short A. That means they all do. But over here I have a question mark because these words might have a different sound in the middle. So we're going to listen really carefully to see what we hear in the middle. We have a ah, mop. When you slow yourself down, you go ah. What did you hear in the middle? Short O. So I wrote short O. I'm going to put that right next to that one. This time we have a bed. Slow yourself down. Ba, eh, da. And try again if you didn't catch it. Ba, eh, da. Bed. Did you hear it? That's the one we've been working a lot lately on. What have we been working so much on? Short E, because it's super tricky. It's very close to our a, and it's very close to our I. So we have to use these and really, really listen. Ba, eh, d, bed. So I'm going to put short E next to the bed. This time, it's an insect. Insect. And we're going to talk about the sound at the beginning of that one, actually. Insect. What do you hear at the very beginning? Eh, eh. There's our short I. Now we have a t-ub. T-ub. What do you hear in the middle? This time we're going to think about the middle again. What's in the middle? T-ub. Did you feel your belly? Did you grab it? I did. Short U is the vowel in tub. Now, when I say this next one, we really have to use these. Cube. Cube. The middle sound said its own name. We call that one a long U. So this time I wrote long U. Listen again. Cube. That sounds very different than ub. So our vowels can make more than one sound. This time the U said short, ub, but this time it said the long sound cube. What do we have down here? A bar of soap. Use them. Soap. What are you hearing in the middle that time? O. The O says its own name. That is a long O. O. I'm going to move our mop down here. We're going to look at those and compare them. See what we notice. O and ah. It's still a letter O, but the letter O sounds very different in those two words. When we have a long O sound, it's O. That's when it says its own name. Like if you were saying the alphabet, you'd be like A, he said his own name. B, C, D, E, he said his own name. F, G, H, I, he said his own name. That's what our vowels can do. J, K, L, M, N, O, he said his own name. P, Q, R, S, T, U, he said his own name. V, W, X, Y, and Z. Our vowels are special. They can make different sounds. And a lot of the times we think about the long sound and the short sound. All right, friends, we are going to move on over because we've got more stuff to do with our reading. Phonics is a huge part of our reading, but then also we do some other parts too. And the phonics part is what helps us to really understand how to figure out words. So when we're stuck on a word, we think about our phonics and we think about our sounds and we think about our animals to help us to figure out words. Well, right now what we're going to talk about is a part of reading that helps us to understand what's going on in a story. Okay, but that's very important too. If we read a story and we just don't understand what's going on, it really doesn't do us very much good. So we're going to look at a story today called What Do I Want to Be? And what we've been working on lately is called compare and contrast. Say compare for me. Compare. Say it in a high voice. Compare. Way down low. Compare. Now say contrast. Contrast. Nice and high. Contrast. Way down low. Contrast. Underwater. Contrast. When we compare, we see what is alike. When we contrast, we see what's different. And we've been doing that with our double bubbles. So I'm going to read a story for you today called What Do I Want to Be? And we're going to pick two characters or two people from this story, and we're going to compare and contrast and do a double bubble about two people who are in this one story. Sometimes we compare and contrast two different books. Sometimes we can compare and contrast what's right inside one story. This is by Lori Rosales. Hi, I'm Zoe. When I grow up, what will I be? How will I know the job for me? Who will I ask? Where will I go? All the people in town will know. Zoe. How are you, Miss Fox? Tell me about the work you do. Mrs. Fox, I'm a firefighter. I must do my job quickly to keep people safe. So, this is our little friend Zoe. She's asking questions to some grown-ups who have a job. Mrs. Fox, right here, is a firefighter. Zoe says, firefighting is exciting, I see, but maybe it's not the job for me. She's going to ask lots of different people about their jobs. Zoe says, how are you, Miss Hall? Tell me about the work you do. Miss Hall says, I'm a librarian. I help people find information they need for school or work. Zoe says, librarians like to help people, I see, but maybe it's not the job for me. Zoe, how are you, Miss Delp? Tell me about the work you do. Miss Delp, I'm a bank teller. The bank has many services to keep money safe. Zoe, working at the bank is important, I see, but maybe it's not the job for me. Zoe, how are you, Dr. Cohn? Tell me about the work you do. Dr. Cohn, I'm a doctor. People come to see me when they are sick, and I try to make them well. Zoe, doctors are caring people, I see, but maybe it's not the job for me. Zoe, how are you? Mr. Luna, tell me about the work you do. Mr. Luna, I'm a postal worker. I deliver letters and packages. Zoe says, a postal worker works hard, I see, but maybe it's not the job for me. Zoe, how are you, Mr. Ford? Tell me about the work you do. Mr. Ford, I'm a crossing guard. I help children cross the street safely. Zoe, crossing guards help people be safe. I see, but maybe it's not the job for me. Zoe, how are you, Miss Ruiz? Tell me about the work you do. Miss Ruiz, I'm a teacher. I help students learn math, science, and reading. Zoe, teachers like to help kids, I see, but maybe it's not the job for me. Zoe, how are you, Mr. Jones? Tell me about the work you do. Mr. Jones, I'm a police officer. I help keep the community safe. Zoe, police officers are brave, I see, but maybe it's not the job for me. Zoe, how are you, Dr. Rubin? Tell me about the work you do. Dr. Rubin says, I'm a veterinarian. You can bring your pet to me for shots and checkups. Zoe, veterinarians like animals, I see, but maybe it's not the job for me. Interviewing. Oh, that's what she's been doing. Asking people questions is called doing an interview. Interviewing is so much fun. There's a special job for everyone. Now I found the job for me. A news reporter is what I'll be. So she likes her interviewing so much, and that's what news reporters do. So she found out that's the perfect job for her. So now we're going to think about two people in the story that she interviewed. She interviewed someone named Dr. Cohn. Now, Dr. Cohn was the one who takes care of people when they're sick. She also interviewed Miss Ruiz. Miss Ruiz was the teacher. So we're going to do a double bubble. Dr. Cohn helps people. So I'm going to put that in a bubble only on her side. And I'm going to connect it just to her. She helps people. Okay. And now I'm going to think about Miss Ruiz. She helps people, but she helps mostly kids. So I'm going to put helps kids for her side. And I'll only connect that to Miss Ruiz. Now I need to think of something about them that is the same. Oh yeah, they're both girls or women. Since they're grown-ups, I'm going to call them women. And I'm going to connect that bubble to Dr. Cohn and also to Miss Ruiz. Now I see they help people, helps kids. I think they're both helpers. So in the middle, I want to go with helpers. And I'm going to attach that bubble to both people. But Miss Ruiz, her job was to be a teacher. So I'm going to connect that one only to Miss Ruiz. But then Dr. Cohn, her job is a doctor. Now I think one more thing popped into my brain. If you want to help people and help kids, I think you are very nice. So I bet they are very nice because they like to help. Now let's see. Miss Ruiz, what did she look like? I'm going to go back and I'm going to check. There's Miss Ruiz right there. There's Dr. Cohn right there. Dr. Cohn is wearing something on her face. See if Miss Ruiz has that. No, did you notice what it was? Dr. Cohn wears glasses. So I only bring that line to Dr. Cohn. Miss Ruiz, I think she was younger than Dr. Cohn. So I'm going to put younger. And then I'm only going to attach that one to Miss Ruiz. So what we did today was compare and contrast. Compare down the middle. What is the same about them? And that attaches to each person. What is different? That's when we contrast. That's on the outside. It's different and it only attaches to the one person that it belongs to. And that helps us with our stories, friends. It helps us understand better what is happening.